Oh, hello there YouTube VC. Welcome to a lovely sunny day in Pencoed, South Wales. I've just dropped off a delivery here to a warehouse. I'm just on my break. You've got to have a 45-minute break by law. So I thought I'd do an impromptu video or redo a video. I've already done this one at home. But I wasn't particularly happy with it, so I thought I'd do it again. It's just finding time, what with the baby and all that, helping out my daughter. Yeah, granddad. I'm a dab hand at cleaning and sterilising bottles and making bottles of milk up and cleaning dirty backsides and helping with the nappy changing and that. Yeah, it's that video that's been knocking around. 5 artist bands you won't find in my collection, and you're not likely to either. I could have done a lot more than 5. In fact, I might do another video, part 2. So yeah, first band, first artist, Prince, or Symbol, or whatever he used to call himself. Never been a fan of Prince, never particularly cared for his music and that. Just never interested me, never. And that album he did, was it I think it was called Love Sexy, something like that. He was stark bollock naked on the front sleeve, wasn't he? I think it's one of the most revolting pictures I've ever seen. Oh, it was horrible. Yeah, Prince just never for me. And I used to go with a girl years ago who was a bit of a fan of Prince. And I remember we were out, and I think she must have been half drunk or whatever. And Prince, the DJ played Prince. Oh, I love Prince. His lyrics are so meaningful. Yeah, all right. It never lasted too long after that. But no. Not a fan of Prince, never will be. You'll never see any of his records in my collection. Again, I don't despise the bloke, just not for me. Don't care for him. Second one, Kanye West. Again, well, I don't hate and despise him, but Christ almighty, he's very self-opinionated, isn't he? And he's just found him and that family, that woman he was he married to her, Kardashians. What a bunch of plonkers they were. And him, again, you won't find any of his records in my collection. Never. Although he's very popular with the young uns. And I suppose older folk alike, but not with me. Number 3, one of the biggest bands in the world and in the history of popular music. Pink Floyd. Now, I actually thought I had a Pink Floyd 7-inch single in my collection, but it turns out it's not mine, it's my daughter's, and she wanted it back, so I'm okay to pick them. That was another brick in the wall. Christmas number 1, 1979 here in Britain, the last Christmas number 1 of the 1970s. The last number 1 of the 1970s, and it rolled over. It was the first number 1 of the 1980s. I've only ever heard 1 and a bit Pink Floyd albums. They were on CD. My little brother, he left them around my mum's house, and I was house sitting while they were on holiday, and I thought I'd play them. I've never heard any Pink Floyd before in my life, except for that Another Brick in the Wall tune. The albums were that memorable, I couldn't even remember, tell you what they were called. I think one of them had 2 blokes on the cover. One of them, he was on fire, shaking hands with another one. Though why you'd want to be shaking hands with a bloke on fire, I don't know. I'd be well out of there. And the other one, it looked like 2 halves of a statue in a field, sort of looking at each other. That's how best I can describe it. All you Pink Floyd fans out there, you'd know what the album's called. But yeah, I'd listened to all of the first one with the bloke on fire, and a bit of the other one. And after the other one, I was sort of comatose. I was like I was feeling depressed. I'd had enough, bored stiff of it. I just don't get on with Pink Floyd at all, really, to be honest. Except for that single I mentioned a couple of times. And nah, not for me. You ain't going to see no Pink Floyd in my collection. Number 4. What did I pick for number? Morrissey and the Smiths. I suppose you can band them together, can't you? Morrissey and the Smiths. Very self-opinionated. I used to call it sort of music for students whenever I heard it, because a lot of the sort of student people I knew at the time were very much into the Smiths. And then Morrissey, when he went and did his own thing, and he still is. Again, just not for me. Never been keen on them. Never liked them. Didn't know what people saw in them, to be honest. So again, yeah, you ain't never going to see any Smiths records in my collection. And lastly, and I will do a part 2, because like I say, there's more. The Fall. Is it Marky Smith? I mean, he died, didn't he, a year or 2 ago? Again, I just don't know what people see in them. I've never been keen on them, never liked them, to be honest. Oh, excuse me. That's my dinner repeating itself. I've only heard, well, I'm sure I've heard more, but the only song by them I can really remember, and I think it's absolutely terrible, an absolute crap cover version of Ardeen Taylor's Ghost in My House. The Fool. I've seen their version of it on YouTube. Absolute rubbish. One of the worst cover versions I've ever heard. And again, there's I just noticed a squirrel over there. Sorry about that. I wonder if he's gathering his nuts. So yeah, I just don't know what people see in The Fall. I really don't. Never keen on them, never liked them. Definitely would never buy any of their stuff. Perhaps it's one of those sort of cult bands that, you know, be careful how you say that. But yeah, never liked The Fall. And I never will do. And I'll never sort of go back and give these bands, artists a second chance. I've got far more important bands and artists and to listen to and buy records by. So yeah, part 1. I'll do a part. When I get home, I'll probably sit down and think about another list. 5 more artists. So there you go. Prince, Pink Floyd, The Fall, the Smiths, Morrissey. Is that 5? I'm buggered if I can remember. Anyway, who knows? I'm losing the plot. Thanks for tuning in. Those have congratulated me and wish me and my daughter and the little and all the best. Mother, daughter, doing fine. Bless you. Thank you very much. I'll sort out a little cheeky picture and I'll plonk it at the end of this video. Thanks for listening. Cheerio. I'm going back to my lunch break now. Bye.